Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show this Thursday, the 27th of January, 2022. Thank you for tuning in. Listen, I'm glad to have you guys here. Now, here's what I want to say. I'm very suspicious, Weird stuff's been going on with the market. You see these massive drops in the market, and 800 points in the Dow Jones drops down, right? And then a few hours later, all of a sudden, this looks like it's timed. It goes bing back up at higher than it ever was before. It's done this over and over again lately. Well, we know what's going on with the sell-off. These people selling stocks. But what I don't know is what's going on with the buy-in when the stocks rebound. It seems very weird to me. Now, I do know there are some certain things out there. An exchange stabilization fund. I do know that Catherine Austin Fitz and Dr. Mark Skidmore done a lot of research into missing money. And we're not talking about small amounts of change here. We're not talking about this missing money. We're talking about perhaps as much as $125 trillion. But it might be in the $20 or $30 trillion range. But anyway, it's an enormous amount of money. It's probably enough money to pay off the entire United States debt. And it's in these black pools of money out there. What they call lost money. But it's not lost. They know where every dollar is. And you got the Exchange Stabilization Fund, which is richer than rich. And you've got the Plunge Protection Team out there. I don't know what's going on with these markets, but let's just say I'm suspicious that there's some sort of intervention going on. I'm questioning the markets. A big question mark in my mind. What's going on? And this could change everything. This could allow the Fed to get away with deeper tightening schedule and raising interest rates and so on if they're supporting the market, if they're buying the market. How would they do it? A big question mark in my mind is how would they do it without all of us knowing? Would they use third or fourth parties as purchasers into the market somehow so that we don't know where it's coming from? It's just we see the market go back up again. I'm very suspicious of all this. Let's get the chart started right here and take a look at what's going on. Over in Europe right now. Now, there's this thing with Russia and Ukraine. You've probably heard about it. That Russia's possibly going to invade Ukraine and all this kind of stuff. Don't hold your breath. Anyway, but what I think is a real solid possibility is Russia could cut off the gas supply to Europe in retaliation to to really impact Europe because their demands that Ukraine not become a NATO member, it's Russia's demands, are not being met by the NATO forces. NATO forces are saying that Ukraine is a sovereign country and they should be able to decide for themselves whether or not they're going to join NATO. Anyway, they sent a letter to the Kremlin, and I guess it didn't go over real well. But anyway, that aside, it says right here, Russia sends an estimated 230 million cubic meters of gas to Europe each and every day, of which around a third travels west through Ukraine. Market experts are divided over whether Russia is likely to disrupt all gas exports to Europe. Experts are divided. They don't know. In other words, why don't they just say experts don't know? They don't know beans. I think it's a distinct possibility because a day or two ago, Putin said that there would be severe economic consequences. And this is an economic consequence. Not getting your 230 million cubic meters of gas every day that goes into Europe would be a huge economic consequence. I think that this is a very likely scenario that could play out. Uh, it says here, is there enough spare gas to fill the gap? The global gas supply crunch, which has emerged as economies begin to rebound following the COVID-19 slump, means that there is little spare gas to go around, according to analysts from Rystad Energy. So here we got a situation where Europe might have to go without. And what do they use most of that gas? Cooking, heating, all that kind of things, you know? I mean, this could create a massive situation. Let's move over here and take a look at the silver price today. You know what? This is one hell of a big smackdown. 22.62 is down 88 cents. That's a big drop, you know, guys. That's a big drop in the price of silver. Just killing the little guy. Little guy is trying to squiggle out. He's trying to buy himself some silver, trying to buy himself some gold, trying to buy himself some cryptocurrencies. And what are they going to do? Use the plunge protection team to support the market, but let everything else and push everything else down? All the things the little guy's in, they're going to push down, but the thing the big guys are in, they're gonna pump it. What kind of system are we in anyway? It's how do you spell it? Or how do you say that? Malevolent, M-A-L-E-V-I-L-O-A-N-T, malevolent type system. And it's not that the system is so malevolent. It's these people who are running the system who are a bunch of psychopaths. And they're going to keep crushing. Look, they're going to keep coming. They're going to keep coming and coming and coming. Just like they keep pushing and pushing and pushing. You ever seen pushy people? Well, it seems to me those are the kind of people that are running the system, are kind of pushy kind of people, you know. And they're just going to keep coming and pushing the little guy down lower and lower until finally, if he doesn't do something, he's just going to be gone. Just gone. Flow, puff away in the wind. It's like that song, you know. Dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. We're all gonna blow away like dust in the wind because they're gonna just suck every bit of life juice right out of us until there's nothing left but dust. They're just gonna keep going. Gold here today. Gold is down $24.50 at $17.94. Let's crack down under the 1800 mark again. Let's take a look at cryptocurrencies and see what's going on here. We're looking at 1675, and let me refresh the page. 1663, so it's going down a little bit right now. It's 36,329 for Bitcoin. It's kind of sticky right now, Bitcoin and the cryptos. It's like I told you, right now is a buying opportunity. Crypto's not going away. Bitcoin's going to be absolutely huge at a certain point. We're into the end game on this, and all the meters are pointing toward inflation winning in the end. And they're playing this game, the Fed's playing this game, trying to delay the inevitable. That's all they're doing. They're delaying the inevitable. We're going to have a hyperinflation in the end. And cryptocurrency is going to be one of the biggest benefactors of this. And right now, because of this game that the Fed's playing and everything, cryptos are on sale. But you got to find your entry point. And it might go, it has a chance of going considerably lower if the plunge protection team aren't able to keep this market from going to the downside in the very near future. We could see Bitcoin and cryptos go lower too. But there's going to be a turning point. And right now is a good, solid, nice price for Bitcoin at 36,000. That's when you consider it was an asset class, it was like 68,000. Now it's 36,000. Yeah, sure, it might go down into the 20s. And heck, if this thing is severe enough, it could knock it all the way down to where it's like 19,000. But still, in the future, when you get to a point when Bitcoin is in excess of $500,000 a coin, or maybe even $1 million a coin, is it really going to matter so much whether you bought in at 36,000 or you bought in at 22,000? What's going to matter is that you got some at that point when the price reaches where it's going to go. Because this is just like the internet. This is like the early days of the internet of money. This is the internet of money. And this stuff, you know. Let's take a look at the Dow today. It's up 259 points on the day. Watching overnight trading last night on the pre-markets, you know, at one point I think we were down like 500 points. Like I say, people are selling. Who's scooping it up? The PPT? The Exchange Stabilization Fund? Who's scooping it up? What is it? People selling and the government's buying? I just don't know. I'm just questioning. That's a big question mark, and I'm very suspicious. But we are up 260 points today at 34,429. They can say, "Oh, it's the U.S. put in a good report or whatever." Oh no. Okay, crude oil today, 87.25. It's down 10 cents. So there's very little movement in crude oil today. Now we're going to take a look at the MOVE index at 85.75, and it's trending upwards. This is your credit markets. This is higher numbers bad. It means instability in the credit markets. Lower numbers good. 85 is kind of warm and toasty. It's getting kind of up there. Over 100 would be start to get into danger territory for the credit markets. Where's my bonds today? Bonds and rates. Okay, here's my bonds. What we're looking at is dropping on the long end, and it's fairly substantial. Actually, it's quite large. Falling yields on the bonds on the long end. 30 years shed 8.3 basis points, and the 10 years shed 5.4. At 1.79 in the U.S. 10-year, and the U.S. 30 years 2.08. I'm just wondering if they can't monkey around with this too. If they're not monkeying around with this. You know, I heard one thing, it said something like $120 trillion that they've siphoned off in these slush funds, secret slush funds. That would be enough to pay off the entire U.S. debt. That would be enough to buy the whole bond market. And that would be enough to buy the whole stock market. And heck, buy everything, you know? Buy the whole country. But isn't that the Fed's mandate? Is they want to just make money from basically it's like counterfeiting, you know, counterfeit up a whole bunch of money and buy everything that we have until we're sitting on the curb and we don't own anything. I mean, what do you think mortgage-backed securities are? Does you hear the Fed's buying mortgage-backed security? That's just a financial term for your house. They're buying your house, mortgage-backed securities. They're buying your house. They're buying everything right out from underneath you with money that they just create from thin air. And then what they do is they saddle that debt that they created by creating that money onto the taxpayer. And then they hit you with a hidden tax called inflation. They're out to do nothing less, but we are dust in the wind. They're going to keep sucking from us until we just blow away like dust in the wind. We're gone. We'll be gone. One way or another, if you drain a person of all their livelihood to the point where they just can't what's the word I've used? Extraterrestrial or something. Situations will happen that can lead to that person's demise. Maybe they don't have enough money for medicine, or maybe they can't get their car fixed and they get stuck in the middle of the desert, or gosh knows what. But one thing or another will get you if you don't have that lifeblood that you need to survive, which is called money. And if they're draining it all out, I mean, ultimately, you'd starve. Look. Here's what they might do next. Okay? They might make every person, everybody, get a little card, little plastic card or whatever, that you have to take to the grocery store for rationing. Because when this situation gets worse and the supply side, and it's their fault, all these supply side problems are their fault because of their mandates, right? So they cause a supply chain issue. And when the supply chain issue gets bad, they might say, well, we got to do price controls, and we got to ration everything. And how are we going to ration it? Well, we're going to give all of you a little plastic card. You know? And you can't go to the grocery store or to the gas pump without it. And you can't buy more than a certain amount. You're allowed 1 gallon of gas a week or whatever, and we mandate this. This is a new mandate. Mandate. Oh, God, I hate that word. Mandate. We mandate it. And so they say, well, where do we get our cards? Well, you can go online and get a card, So you go to the site where you can get the card. You enter in your email address, or you enter in your postal code and all this, and then you hit go on the thing, and then the computer says, error, we can't accept your postal code. Your postal code's not a correct postal code. You change it a little bit, still the same thing and stuff. So then you call them up. I need to get my card because I gotta be able to buy groceries, and now I gotta have this card, this new rationing card, so I can buy groceries. I went to the grocery store and they stopped me and they said, you got your card? And I said, no. And they said, well, you can't buy groceries. I went to the gas pump. They stopped me. You got your card? No, you can't buy gas. And I'm stuck here and I need this card really bad. What do I have to do? Well, call if the internet line. If you can't get in and do it on the internet, on the website, to get your card, you're gonna have to phone and get help that way. So you phone up and you get some sort of a machine, a robot, and you listen to that for about 5 minutes and you're totally disgusted. Can I talk to a real person? And you find out that all their operators are so sick. And then when you finally get through to them, they say, well, okay, it's going to take 6 more weeks to get you your card. The post is slow. We got to mail it to you. And the post isn't working right now because of all the mandates. And you're like, what the heck? And so I got to wait 4 to 6 weeks to get my card and I can't buy groceries and gas? This is where we're going to be going. And then situations will spin off from that, where people are gonna expire because they just can't get what they need, like at the time they need it. That's why they call it just-in-time delivery. They're quite literally, with all these mandates, they are quite literally shutting the system down that keeps all of us alive. With no thought to the future, just mandate. Where'd they invent that? I don't even want to ever hear that term again, mandate. I'm so sick of it. Anyway, let's take a look at the dollar index before I get away with myself here. The DXY, 97.19. I haven't seen it this high in a while. This is because of all the stupid stuff the Fed's doing right now. They could drive this over 100 because of this game that they're playing right now. And are they using the Exchange Stabilization Fund to somehow manipulate these markets and keep these markets from falling out of bed? I just wonder. I don't trust them. I'm going to tell you, I would trust a horsefly more than I'd trust them. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next show. Bye-bye.